Today's the grand finale of the hashtag ABC April 2025 challenge, and we're closing it out with beauty, layers, and a surprise or two. I'm showing you how I built this dreamy Z-Fold Folio from scratch using soft florals, tucked in tags, and yes, a mini stitched in journal inside. Let's jump in. These are the beautiful digitals that I will be using for this Z-Fold Folio, and one of them will be available for free on my Ko-fi site. And here we're going to start working on the actual Z-fold. You're going to take your 8.5 by 11 paper, and again, you'll have to trim those white lines if your printer doesn't cut those white lines off for you. And then you're going to just fold your paper in half. And depending on what you have in mind for a theme, you might want to consider printing it on both sides or using cardstock and just trimming it. So here I'm going to score at 3 5/8, and then I'm going to score at 7 1/4. Okay. Next, you're going to choose the side that you want for the front cover and of this Z fold folio, and you're going to cut that side off. Next, we're going to work on the spine. You're going to cut a piece of cardstock, 3 3/4 inch by 4 1/8 of an inch, and then you're going to score at a 1/2 inch 3 times. Next, you're going to work on the cover of the one signature, and you're going to cut at 4 inches wide, and then you're going to cut at 6 3/4 of an inch lengthwise. And next, you're going to score the cover at 3 3/4 of an inch. And you should round your edges here and distress if you're into distressing. I will also cut my pages using newsprint paper, and I will use the same dimensions as I used for the spine. That's just a preference. Some people want the pages to be shorter. It doesn't really bother me. It's just a tip to keep in mind. Now we're going to add the 3 pamphlet stitch, and you should grab your needle, your thread of choice, and I'm also sharing with you that if you want to add some pockets to the inside of the covers, that's completely up to you, but it's not necessary. Now, the way I like to do the 3 pamphlet stitch is super simple, not too complicated. I like to use a couple of clips to hold the left, like the bottom and the top side, and then I will show you how I will stitch. These are the front and the back flaps, and I'm showing you that I've cut two pieces at 3 1/4 inch by 11, and I scored twice at 4 1/4 inch. Next, we're going to make the writing board, and as you know, I absolutely love adding these to my journals, and you're going to need a cereal box thickness or chipboard that's not too thick, and I'm giving you the dimensions there for you to cut the chipboard or the cereal box out of. And then you're going to want to cut two pieces of paper or digitals of your choice, and you're going to glue the front and the back, and that's pretty easy, straightforward. Now, here's the fun part. I saved the best for last. I used some of the washi tape and turned it into this adorable little clippie, and it really does actually work. That little film that you will see frame, charm, and some of the mini beads that I'll be adding to this in just a little bit. And I used a beauty label. It just brings everything together in such a sweet way. And it really does keep your things tucked and in its place. Now we're going to punch a little notch, if you will, on the second part or the middle part, if you will, of the Z-Fold Folio. And that's where I plan to insert my writing board, but you can also insert whatever you'd like. Now I'm showing you how I will put everything together and super mindful that you're aware of how you would like the front cover to be. Do you want it all the way towards the end of the spine? I moved mine a little closer because I want a little bit of symmetry. And then I'm going to put the middle part, and I'm giving you a show as to how I plan to assemble and glue everything together. Thank you for joining me for this challenge. I hope this inspires you to create your folio, journal, or paper adventure. Be sure to grab your freebie printable on my Ko-fi and let me know what would you've tucked away this month. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. More tutorials are on the way. Happy creating.